dark in here. Okay, I didn't mean for it to be that dark. Maybe I'll put some lights on. Oh, that's sad, isn't it? Is that okay? Is that better? That's going to have to do. That's a bit brighter. Okay, core class. Only thing you need is a book. So, grab a book or some sort of similar weight. Ideally, I'd have you using a yoga block, but as they are unavailable, yoga block, book, any of the above will do. You just need something that you can balance on your shins for the passes and something that can form the focal point of your move for Russian twist and that sort of stuff. So, we're going to start with, I'll give it another minute because there's only, give people a chance to arrive. So we'll start with walkouts just to get you put to the side for the moment. You don't need it for now. We'll just start with a couple of sets of walkouts. Hinging at the hips, plant your hands on the floor, walk out into a plank. Make sure when you're in that plank, you're tucking your tailbone under, your shoulders are directly above your wrists. You're going to send your heels down towards the floor, tailbone up in the air, arms straight overhead, and you're going to walk back up. So 4 or 5 of these, stretching out your hamstrings, and just waking up your core as you feel that tension transfer to your trunk. It's that bottom surface there. As you raise your hips up, you're crunching with your abs as well. So we take these nice and slow for the first couple. Really be aware of where you're driving from. As you lift your hips, crunching your core to do so. A few more here, and then we'll just get started. Okay, let's make this next one your last one, right the way down and right the way back up. I am all ready to warm. Okay, your first round, 4 moves, and we're going to repeat it twice. So you're going to start with a dish hold. So lying on your back, that arch in your spine is flattened out. Your arms and legs come up to the top, and you're going to drop them down just to a point at which you can drive your lower back into the mat. As soon as your lower back comes off the mat and you start to create a gap here, then bring your arms and your legs up slightly. We want to be at a point that you can control holding your belly button through to your spine. So that's your dish hold. Movement number 2, we're going to do dead bugs. So you're going to take your book, your weight, whatever it is you have, hold it directly above you. Your knees are directly above your hips, and your belly button is again pulled through your spine into the floor. One leg at a time, you're going to tap out as far as you can, heel to the floor, straight back up. As you return your knee back up, it needs to be directly over your hip or lower. Don't come up to here. You're not engaging your core if your knee comes up to here. Keep it at hip height or lower. Again, slow and controlled. Move number 3. We're going to do 3 crunches and then 3 crunch holds. So hands on your thighs, you're going to lift your shoulders off the floor for 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to hold at the top for 1, 2, 3. Back down, 3 crunches, 3-second holds. And the last move, we are going to do a plank on your forearms, and then 1 hip at a time. You're going to tap to the floor and return to that plank. Tap, return. So starting with your dish hold, 45 seconds of station. 3, 2, and 1. Driving belly button through your spine, into the floor, into the mat, right the way through. Only come down to a point at which you can hold, and if that's up here, absolutely fine. The work is being done not by how far your arms and legs are down, but how hard you're trying to draw your belly button through your spine and keep that tension on the top surface of your trunk. Keep squeezing. Try not to let the tension come from your hip flexors or your shoulders, but a tension from your hip to your rib as you shorten that distance, drive your belly button through your spine. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straight into your dead bug. So your weight, your book, whatever it is you have, overhead. This serves as a distraction more than anything else. That arch in your back is flattened out. 1 foot at a time. You're going to reach, tap, return. Keeping those knees as low as you can, both of them. As one leg goes down, the other leg is going to try to come up, because that means you're not using your core. Keep both of your knees as low as possible. Still, all the while thinking about keeping your arms straight and your belly button pulled through to your spine. Slowly and controlled, straight arms, tipping your hips up towards you, pulling your belly button towards your spine. The amount of times I say that in a day is hilarious. Last few seconds here before we move into your crunches. 3, 2, and 1. So straight into your crunches, feet flat on the floor, hands on your thighs. Keeping your lower back on the floor. It's quite easy to come up really high. It's harder to keep your lower back on the floor and let the tension be picked up here as opposed to using the momentum to sit up. So you're shortening the distance from your bottom rib to your hip. Ready? Let's go. 3, 2, 1. At the top, hold for 3, 2, 1. Back down. And again. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Keep moving through those. The reason that we're doing that hold in the middle of them is not because it's abysmal, which it is. It stops you coasting off the inertia of the last rep. So you can be, once you've found a rhythm with crunches, it's very easy to just ping pong between the two extremes, never actually controlling the movement at the top or the bottom. You want to make sure that you're coming down nice and slowly, controlling that elongating of your core muscles, and crunching as hard as you can when you get to the top. A few more seconds here. Last 3, 2, and 1. Into your last move before we go into our second round. Plank on your forearms, and we do it this way just so you can see my hips. Feet nice and wide apart. You want to tap one hip to the floor and return to the middle. One to the floor, return to the middle. So you're coming down on the right and then the left. You should feel as you drag your hips back into that plank position. So say we come tap the right hip and you're coming back to the middle. You should feel your left hand side of your core light up as it drags your hips up and over. Ready? Let's go. And you're going to make sure you're returning to that plank form where your tailbone is tucked under, everything is completely taut. So if someone came over and boosted you in the ribs, you wouldn't move anywhere. One side, other side. Nice and slow, just ping pong. With that pause in the middle, making sure that you're controlling the move and you're not just wildly swinging from one side to the other. As you drop your hip towards the floor, feel that stretch down the side of your core, and as you come back up, feel that contraction, tuck your hips underneath you. Last 3, 2, 1. Perfect. One more round. Is that light weird? I feel like the light's a bit weird. We shall see. I'm going to leave them on for a minute because it's pretty dark over here. Okay, round 2, we're going to come back into our dish hold. So lying on your back, making sure that arch in your back that is often made is driven down into the floor. So your hips were tipped up towards you. If you have your hands on your hips, so your thumb is at the back and your fingers are at the front, your thumb comes down and your fingers come up as you tuck your tailbone under and shorten that distance there, core contraction to pin your lower back on the floor. Okay, 3, 2, 1, up into your dish. Do not let your lower back come off the floor. Really thinking about using that tension there to drive your belly button down, through into the mat, tipping your hips up and under. Another 10 seconds here. I'm just going to hold. 3, 2, 1. Grab your book, your yoga block, your weight, arms extended straight out in front, knees at hip and no higher, they stay down. One at a time, keeping that arch ironed out against the floor. Let's go. If you can keep both your legs this low, right the way through, perfect. The main point is that your lower back stays on the floor and doesn't lift off like this. I'm keeping my knees low, but I'm feeling that like in my lower back, not my core. Drive your lower back into the floor, slow and controlled. Another 12 seconds here. Keep actively driving belly button down through your spine. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet flat on the floor, 3 crunches, 3 holds. Think about as you slide your hands up your thighs for the crunch, try not to lead with your arms Imagine that distance here being closed off by a contraction of your core, and that movement here, coming closer together is what's driving your arms forward. It's nothing to do with reaching with your arms, more than it is crunching here and your arms sliding up. 3, 2, 1, hold. 3, 2, 1. Try and push your lower back as hard as you can into the mat, as hard as you can into the floor. Driving the floor away with your lower back. Let's have another 3 of each, so 3 more crunches. 3, 2, 1, last 3-second hold. 3, 2, 1. Into your plank with hip taps. This is the last time we're doing this one. So forearms on the floor, one at a time, hip touches the floor, return to your plank. Each time you return to your plank, check the form. Is your tailbone tucked under? Is your belly button pulled through your spine? Are your legs completely straight? Keep moving through them nice and slowly. Pausing when you get back to the middle. Each time, your shoulders are directly over your elbows. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Right. Round 2. That's the first set done. We're not doing any of those again. Step number 2, you're going to start with a book pass. So it's kind of like your dish hold with added fun. So you're going to start, the amount of times I say this is absolutely sickening, belly button through your spine, push your lower back into the floor. So we're closing off that arch. You're going to start with the book overhead. You're going to bring your knees up to hip height, but no higher. Keep them here. You're going to pop this on your shins. In order to do that, you're going to need to crunch your shoulders off the floor. Arms go overhead, legs go back down. Back up, you're going to crunch to get the book, slowly back down. Making sure that crunch, slow and controlled. Book passes, they're tough. Movement number 2, we're going to do a V-sit. So, keeping your legs as straight as possible. You're going to lean back until you can lift your feet off the floor. Keep your chest nice and tall, we're just going to sit here. Pointing your toes up towards the corner of the ceiling opposite you. Move number 3, bicycle crunches. Hands on your head, knees up. You're going to bring your right elbow to your left knee. Back down. Notice how I'm bringing my torso up as opposed to just bringing my knee back, because that's nothing to do with my abs, that's all in my leg. Whereas if I bring my torso up, that's way more core. Last move, we are going to do, I can't read my own writing, a diagonal mountain climber. So if you're in a high plank move here, your right knee comes up and across to tap your left elbow and return. So from the side, it'll look like this. So there's a little bit of rotation in there as well, as you come up and across. Okay, let's go. Book pass first, so lying in the back, arms overhead. Let's start a new song, because I hate it when there's silence. Nice. Okay, let's go. Making sure that your feet and your knees are not touching, and that crunch on the way up is your upper body coming down to reach for the book. Keep moving slow and controlled through these. You should really start to feel like a lactic acid buildup and fatigue in your core at this point. These moves are quite demanding. As you get more tired, your body's going to start to, so your back's going to start coming off the floor as your core gets fatigued. Fight your lower back into the floor, drive it down. If it means that you only do 2 or 3 reps in a given time, doesn't matter. As long as your lower back stays glued to the floor, that's all that matters here. 3, 2, 1, pop the book down. Sitting nice and tall, you're going to lean back to the point that you can lift your legs off the floor. From here, chest nice and tall. You're going to, if possible, we're just going to hold. I have my arms out as a counterbalance. Ready? Let's go. You want to try and keep your shoulders back and down, away from your ears. It's very easy in this one to sit here and hunch over. Keep your chest nice and tall, keep your legs straight. You should be aware of the tension in your core is holding your legs up, not tension in your hip flexors. Keep your chest pushed towards your knees. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lie on your back, straight your bicycle crunches. Hands on your head. You're going to bring your elbow to meet your knee, not the other way around. Ready? Let's go. Up. Return to the floor. It's easy with these ones to just drive backwards with your knees. That does nothing for your core. You're just chilling on the floor. It should really be a lifting of your upper body up and over. You should feel the tension pick up right away from the bottom of one rib to the hip on the other side as you close that gap off, close that gap off. That rotation is a major part of it. There's a reason that we're doing it. It shouldn't just be that folding in one plane of motion, but you're twisting to reach as well. Last 3, 2, 1. Last one's in this set before we go into round 2. Right knee, left elbow. Let's go. So again, with that rotation, should be hip and rib, opposing sides come closer, opposing sides come closer. As you're twisting around, really try and drive your knee towards that elbow. It's not just like an end goal point, it should be what you're aiming for each time. Even if you don't make contact each time, the very act of trying your hardest to get that knee to that elbow means that your core will be contracting to its maximum capacity to close that distance off. So if you're making the choice to try and make them touch, then you're going to be doing the movement perfectly. If you're just going in that direction, you're not giving it your all, you're not going to get very much done. And time. Well done. I talked for a little bit too long there, so you did 7 seconds extra, but it's fine. Okay, round number 2. We're going to go straight back into that foot pass again. You're halfway through the second set, which means you are half pass, and we are over halfway through the amount of time that I have for the class. We're going to rush through the next set. I'm going to make the next ones a little bit shorter. Okay, ready? Start with that foot pass. Overhead. Onto your crunch up. Arms and legs go overhead. Keeping, I'll say it again, belly button driven through your spine. You want to try and push the floor, push the mat away with your lower back as hard as you can. You should really be thinking about trying to get your lower back here where that arch naturally would sit. Reject it, push it right the way back behind you. Squeeze, shorten that distance there, right the way throughout the move. Even at full extension with your arms overhead, your belly button should still be driven through your spine. 3, 2, 1, stretch your V-sit, keep your chest nice and tall. To make this a little bit harder, arms go overhead. I can't do it that way. Keeping your chest tall. If you can, keep your legs separate. What that does, it ensures that each side of your obliques are working independently as opposed to creating that ring and supporting one another. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight in, bicycle crunches. Back on the floor, hands on your head. Let's go. Really thinking about that rotation in the spine as you twist round to make contact. Again, this is easy if you drive your knees back. That does nothing. You really want to crunch up that gap between your bottom rib and your hip. It's closed off. That's the crunch that I'm looking for. Oh, 3, 2, and into your diagonal mountain climbers, and we are done with set number 2 of 3. Let's go. It is up to you to make the choice to try and make contact with each single rep that you do. Ten seconds left. You're 2/3 through the class now. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful. Okay, last set. Your first move is another book pass, so it's kind of a variation of that. So you're going to lie, unsurprisingly, back on the floor. Now I'd imagine in a class you will have done flutter kicks before, where you have your legs off the floor and you're doing this. So what I'm going to ask you to do is a variation of that. You're keeping, again, I have to say it again, just to know that I've said it, belly button jump through your spine, close off that gap. Now you're completing flutter kicks as low as you can, but part of this is you're going to take your book and pass it behind the leg that's on top, keeping both those legs straight and as low as possible. If they're bent and you keep them up here, I can just lie here and do that. You need to keep your legs straight and low as possible. That means you have to crunch up to complete the move. So really try to drive your shoulders off the floor and your belly button down into the floor. Move number 2, we're going to do leg raises over the book. I'll do it this way. So you're going to open the book or put your weight or whatever it is you're using in front of you. I'm going to turn that down slightly. Good song, but too loud. So it should be midway up your shins. You're going to lean back, so like we're doing that V-sit, both legs come to one side, and you're going to come up and over, up and over. Try and keep those legs straight, pointing your toes. As you bring your legs up and over, you should feel that contraction in your core, lift them, as opposed to relying on your hip flexors. A good way to make sure you're driving from your core is, again, belly button through your spine, keep your chest nice and tall, but also take it slowly. If you're just bouncing like this and your legs are bent, I guarantee that's your hip flexors and you're just coasting off the inertia of the last rep. Take it really slow. Move number 3. We're going to do bear taps. So on your hands and knees, curl your toes underneath. So your knees are directly underneath your hips and your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Bring your toes under and you're going to lift your knees off the mat. So let me just do it here so you can see. So knees come off the floor. Keeping your knees as close to the floor as possible, you're going to tap, right hand to left foot and replace. Tap, replace. Back and directly underneath your hips, you should feel this in your core. If you creep it forward, it does absolutely nothing. So keep on top of that one. Last movement. We're going to do leg raises, but with a little bit more coordination. So you're going to have 3 positions essentially. So if your legs are straight up at 90 degrees, you've got 3 stages of lowering them. So 1, 2, and then 3 is nearly at the floor. So you're going to come from 90 degrees to position 1, back up. To position 2, 2/3 of the way down, back up. To position 3, all the way down, back up. 1, 2, and 3. So it's not just completing the full movement and heading through them. There's a little bit more to think about. This forces you to use your core more, unsurprisingly, because that's what all of this is about. Let's just go, because I've spoken way too much. Yeah, we are definitely going to rover. Okay, ready? Book passes first. We're going to do 30-second stations, because I run my mouth. Ready? Belly button through your spine. Push the floor away with your lower back. Legs straight. Let's go. Try and get your nose as close as you can to your knees. It's that closing off of the distance that is going to ensure that you're using your core. It's very hard to talk and do that at the same time. So point your toes, legs straight, keep your legs low, keep your shoulders up, keep your belly button down. Keep moving through them. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pop your weight, your book, whatever it is you're using in front of you. Lean backwards, one side and the other. You can use your arms as a counterbalance if you need to. As you crunch up, think about shortening with your core, not with your legs. Slow and controlled. Nearly there with this one. 4, 3, 2, 1. Into your bear taps, hands and knees. Toes under, lift off. Let's go. Tap, replace. Tap, replace. Keep your knees close to the floor and keep them far away from your hands. Almost there. Last 4, 3, 2, And 1 into your last move in your first round. If you need to put your hands on for a bit of support, absolutely fine. Woo. Ready? 90 degrees. Position 1, which is a third of the way down, back up. 2/3 of the way down, back up. Right the way down, back up. Start again, third of the way down, up, 2/3. Up, right the way down, right the way up. You can see where this is going. Keep repeating that. 2/3 of the way down, up, right the way down, right the way back up. Keeping your legs straight, keeping your toes pointed, keeping your belly button thrown through your spine into the floor. Drive your lower back into the floor like you're trying to crush something that's sitting in your lower back. So you're already trying to crush. If your hand was under your lower back, you should be trying to flatten it out against the floor as much as possible. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, if I time this right, we should be done by the time this song is over. One more round. We're going to do those foot passes for the last time. Ready? Let's go. Keeping your legs straight, shoulders up, belly button down, legs low. Keep driving your belly button down. Last 7, 6, 5, 4, right the way to the end, 2, and 1. Perfect. It's your V-sit. Last time we're doing this one, try and go unbroken on this set. So try not to put your hands down or touch your feet to the floor right the way through. Lean back, legs straight, let's go. Holding that chest tall, keep your shoulders away from your ears, elongate your spine, puff your chest out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. Bear taps. Last time we're doing these ones, keep your knees directly underneath your hips or lower. Keep your hands directly underneath your shoulders or lower. As soon as we start getting your hands up here, this is not in your core, this starts to be in your shoulders and in your triceps. Ready? Lift off, let's go. Keeping your knees close to the floor. Still think about drawing your belly button through your spine but towards the ceiling this time as you shorten that distance out on the bottom of your core. Last 10 seconds, slow and controlled. Tap, replace. Tap, replace. 3, 2, 1. This is your last move of the class, and then you can all go dance in the rain or whatever it is you're doing on this fine Wednesday. Let's go. I want to see control elicited over every aspect of this move. 1/3 of the way down, back up. 2/3 of the way down, back up. Right the way down, up to the top. And again, 1/3. Up, 2/3. Up, right the way down. Start again. As you're crunching your legs up, think about that distance between rib and hip being closed off. That is what is tipping your hips up, tipping your legs up towards you. It's got nothing to do with the muscles in your legs. Think about that every aspect of this that is being driven from your core, and you're more likely to feel it in your core. It's that mind-muscle connection that is really important now that we've lost the ability to train heavy because we're all barred from going to the gym. 10 seconds left. Let's have one more of each. 1/3. Up. 2/3. Up. Go down slowly for this last one. And tip your hips back on you, right the way up to 90. And relax. Relax. Well done, guys. So that was fun. Sorry if it's a little bit dark. I mean, I don't know why I'm apologising for the weather. It's not on me, but the lighting is. So maybe I'll try and get some studio lights borrowed for the next class. I am doing a blast class tomorrow morning at 10 AM. I'm doing a mobility class tomorrow at 3 PM. So I'll be all up over BFit's Facebook feed tomorrow. I'll see you there for both of those. Blast is going to be high intensity, body weight, jumping around, getting sweaty. Mobility is a little bit more flowy, working on, again, shoulder and hip mobility, spine mobility, that sort of stuff. I'm going to stop talking now because we've run out of time. If you're watching this at a later time, I know some of my girls watch these later, Fazana, Justine, Brenna. If you're watching this later, every one of those sets that we did, I want you to do 3 rounds instead of 2 because you're strong enough and I know you are. If you've done it with me, well done. And I will see you twice tomorrow, 10 AM and 3 PM. Bye-bye.